probably Forster and whoever is going to go back and make a few tweaks, and then it goes to Paramount. And Paramount are going to be the people that say yes or no. Because it's not up to Plan B. They're just the little development company. They don't handle the money. And here's the deal, folks, about World War Z, is it's got to be a big movie, all right? And a big movie, big budget, big anxiety, all right? Studio executives are very, very nervous about greenlighting big movies because they can be career killers, all right? Somewhere in a basement right now, in a hole, is the studio executive who greenlit Speed Racer. Please let me out! And the head of the studio was like, it rubs the lotion on its skin. So there's a lot of anxiety. You can't just do like a little teeny sort of indie World War Z. It is a world war. So that's what it has against it. What it has for it is a lot of enthusiasm on Plan B's part. They really, really want to make this. They want to make this so much, they renewed the option twice. And the second time they renewed the option, half the time, twice the money. So they really want to do this. They're very excited. So we will see. We'll see, I guess, not yes or no in a month or two, but certainly the next step in a month or two. So, you know, feel free to do your own research and find out, because here's my involvement. I mean, they keep me in the loop, which is nice, which is stunning. I mean, I feel, you know, as a book writer in Hollywood, you always feel like a neglected child. So when you get a phone call, it's like from your absent father on your birthday, Dad. Before I came here, I called Plan B just to get some info from them, so I have something to tell you guys. Because to be totally honest, most of the time when I do these, I do my Scott McClellan impression, sort of just sitting here sweating, trying to tell you, because you play the part of White House press secretary. Well, you're not making policy, but you gotta explain it. And Jeremy Kleiner, the guy in charge of the project at Plan B, called me within the hour. I was like, who is this really? To tell me what I'm telling you. So that is the status of the movement. Any other questions? Yes?
Any more books in development for you right now? Along the same lines or different?
Any more books in development? Okay. Yes and no. I have other projects in the works, but nothing zombie right now. Basically because I just don't have a zombie idea to jazz about. You know, believe me, I'm the world's worst businessman. If I wanted to just make bank, I would be on like World War Z Part 5 at this point.
Video game.
I just keep adding water to that and just keep stretching it out so, you know, I can just make bank. Yeah. But here's the problem. What makes me write World War Z is the very same thing that makes me not write a sequel. Because unfortunately, here's the deal. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me and, you know, helping my kid pay his college tuition. But the truth is, I have absolutely no idea what you guys want. I'm no good at trying to guess about what is in the public mind. I don't know. If I could do that, I wouldn't be at this panel. All right, I'd be talking about my new hit show, sitcom, NBC. Okay, I don't know. I can't write for the popular mindset because I have absolutely no idea. All I can do is write for me. That's it. When I sit down to write something, it's got to be something that I'm jazzed about. Because I spent too many years trying to write for other people that I didn't like and they didn't like, and all I have to show for it is years of my life wasted. And I can't do that anymore. When I sit down to write, it's got to be with the same kind of passion. The kind of passion that insulates me from you guys. And what I mean is, if I write something and I love it and you guys hate it, that's cool. It's not cool for you, but I don't care because I loved it. I love doing it. And that's got to be my compass. So yeah, I do have other things in the works right now. Like I said, I've got this miniseries for G.I. Joe. Worst business decision I could have made. Why would I take a break from zombies?
Because you love G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Why would I do it? Because I love G.I. Joe. because I grew up in the 80s, and I'm totally jazzed about G.I. Joe. And I met Christos Gage at a convention, and he's like, right for G.I. Joe, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that. Sort of in the way I'd like to say, oh, you know, I would love to have married Jane Seymour in 1978 in Battlestar Galactica uniform. Like a dream that will never happen. And he said, well, why don't you submit something? I'm sure they'd consider working with you. And I was like, yeah. Well, in my spare time, I started getting an idea. And I wrote it down, and I wrote a comic book script, and I submitted it to IDW, and I thought maybe they would be so kind as to give me a shot at one of their existing storylines. And they said, we love it, we'd like to give you your own miniseries.
Nice.
Nice, yes, I said nice. I thought so. So what I'm doing is something called G.I. Joe Hearts and Minds. And it's 5 issues, and each issue is divided up into 2 stories, one G.I. Joe, one Cobra. And they're not linear stories. What they are is sort of an up-close and personal view of a Joe or a Cobra, sort of a day in the life. Who are these guys? What does it take to do the job that they do? Or what brought them to this point? And that's the kind of stuff that really got me excited. It was a chance to like go back into my childhood and give it another level. And also make it human. Because, you know, I love the 80s G.I. Joe, but like I would say, the 80s was a time of harmless violence. You know, and he won't remember. There was a man before you were born, his name was Ronald Reagan. All right, now this Ronald Reagan, he, especially around here in San Francisco, people didn't like him because they thought he was militant, militaristic, a gunslinger, a cowboy, a warlord. And that might be true, he talked tough, but the truth is we never actually went to war. We invaded countries like Grenada. So as a result, the 80s, as you know, was a time of very harmless violence, where there was a lot of shooting and no one seemed to ever get hit. Well, I don't think you can do that now. We're involved in 2 wars. You know, things are really serious now. You can't just do sort of harmless laser beams. You can't have roadblock rhyme as words. There's a few G.I. Joe fans are like, yeah, you did do that, didn't you? So in Hearts and Minds, I try to make it more realistic. If these people were real people, who would they be? And we deal with issues like racism, and we deal with issues like medical malpractice and science versus religion. We deal with the nature of fear and torture. We go very heavily into torture in one episode and what it means in terms of the Geneva Convention. We actually quote the Geneva Convention in Article 3. So that's what I tried to do in Hearts and Minds. Now, here's the deal. People may hate it because it's not traditional G.I. Joe. It's not even a linear story. And here's the thing. For the first 6 months of any project I ever come out with, I consistently get slammed. And that's cool because I love it, but people don't know what to expect from me. I'm always sort of keeping people off balance and they don't like it. It's like they'll read a project of mine and they'll think, oh, this is Max Brooks. This is what I will expect next time. And they get the next thing and they go, what the hell is this? And it's like I said with Zombie Survival Guide. I don't blame people for thinking it was funny because it wasn't my fault. I mean, to this day, it's put in the freaking humor section, and I've done everything possible to like tell people, not funny. 7 years later, 1 million copies later. That means there's 300 million Americans. For every 300 people in here, if this was a microcosm of America, one of you would have it. All this time, all this press, all these copies later, go on Amazon. You will still see somebody writing and saying, not funny! Where's the jokes? Or, joke gets old really fast. World War Z. I did not want to do just one main character and one main story. Didn't want to do it. Said it in every interview, says it right there on the Amazon page, says it on the back of the book, says it everywhere. Collection of interviews, collection of interviews. No main character. Comes out, to this day, no main character. Swing and miss. That was a good one. Swing and miss. One person actually said, I'm not kidding, too detailed.